Hello YouTube, back once again with my Last Man on Earth reviews, and here we are with episode 8, No Bull, and another great episode of Last Man on Earth. This has been a really great season so far. This episode starts off just pretty funny, starts off you just see Phil stuck in the stocks, and then and then Will Forte going up to him and just brushing it, wanting to brush his teeth, and then Phil's just like, "Why are you doing this? You have to look nice for your big reveal." And then the line just when then Will Forte gets everyone attention to come outside and see Phil in the stocks, and Will Forte's just like, "Look who put themselves in the stocks right now and wants forgiveness." And then I just like Phil be like, "No, Tandy toast, but Tandy threw me in here." I thought that was really funny. Then they just start saying, "I don't think that's good enough anymore, Phil." And while this is going on, they hear like the cow just getting loud, obnoxious groaning sounds, and they're like, "What's?" They're just kind of like, "Wait, what's going on?" And they see that the cow has given birth to a younger cow, I just like the quick line, just the line just went just it's like, is it a girl or a boy? And then Todd's like, it's and then Wilford's like, "Oh, it's a boy, you can tell because of its penis." Yeah, it has a penis. I just thought it was funny. Just like let's not even nobody even come up with a better term. To just say it how it is, but then of course this leads to the question: wait, how did this cow get pregnant unless there's a bull around? So the king decides that they should try and find the bowl because that would probably be the better idea. That would probably be their best idea at the moment. So that's what they think they should try and do. So then what happens, and then there's just a really funny scene between Erica and Kristen Shaw when just Erica's just like, "The cow, it sounded like it was in so much pain," and then Kristen Shaw saying they're like completely oblivious, like not even thinking about what this what she's saying, just saying like, "Yeah, well, it's like the most painful thing something can go through, like giving birth. I mean, like the pain, like the tearing, I mean, if they tear, there's no doctors to stitch this cow back up." It just and I guess we don't have doctors either. I was just saying Erica's reaction to Eric was pretty funny. Kristen Shaw just saying that was a great line, and then Todd just being like, "Well, we better collect some cow urine," and then Wilfork's like, "Ah, it's trying to stay high." She's like, "No, you use that to attract the boys." Just like, "Oh, okay." I just thought first whatever. Then while this is going on, Phil still stuck in the Scots stock. So Will Forte goes up to him. He's just like, Will Forte just goes up to Phil, and Phil's just like, "Let me out of here, Will Forte." And then Will Forte's like, "No, you have to stay here. But I know what you can do to because if they don't think the stocks are good enough, you should help us find the bull. Because if you find the bull, I'm telling you, you'll so be accepted back into this group." And then Phil's just like, "Yeah, okay, let me out of these stocks, and I'll do that." And then Wilford's like, "Yeah, because you know what, we're a family, even if we all have issues with each other." And that was nice seeing Will Forte thinking of these people as his family. And while this is going on, there's another brief and funny scene with Gail just making out with the Gordon dummy, and then Todd catching her, and then I'm just staring at her and just leaving. I thought it was pretty funny and quick scene. So there was that, and then this led to a pretty dark scene. Just Will Forte lets Phil out of the stocks, and just lets Phil out of the stocks, and then Phil just walks to his truck and just drives away. And right before he does, just Wilfork's like, "Wait, but what about finding the bowl? You said, we're a family." And then I loved the line that Phil said. He just had the great line, just like Will Forte, "My family's dead. All our families are dead. We're alone out here." I thought that was a really good, that was a really effectively dark line. Just basically, because like there is a certain thing, like because like these characters are just such radically different people from one another that they are kind of even more alone, being just as alone being with them as they are with being being with no one. And so I thought it can like even be seen for the fact like Will Forte still talks to his ball friends when he wants to talk to someone. Like I thought that was so I thought that was a pretty effectively dark line. Oh, and before this, there was a really quick funny line just when Phil's walking to his truck when Will Forte's like, so where do you plan to start looking? And then Phil's just like, Canada. And then he's just like, well, that's pretty far up north, but I guess we can work our way down from there. I thought that was a quick, really good line. So then Phil drives away. I just like, well, I guess that's why Boris Kajo only got a guest starring appearance and never is not a main cast member. I guess that's the last we're seeing of Phil. And then this led to another really dark moment just when Will Forte just goes to the group and he's just like, guys, Phil left, and they're like, who cares? I was like, God, this is really dark. Like, I think this season was kind of this season so far has been showing that like none of these characters are that good at people, like except for Kristen Schaal, but they're all really pretty selfish human beings. And so there's that. Then there's a fun scene with just them. You just see them all looking for the bowl, and then you just see Todd and Gail with each other, and then just like Todd's just like, yeah, okay, just being really uncomfortable. He just like, and Gail's like, I have problems. I thought that was really funny. Then this led to another funny scene, really funny but also kind of dark scene where you just saw them all taking a break under a tree with each other looking for the bowl, and looking for the bowl, and you just see like Phil like just drink out of a container. He's just like, Carol, did Kristen Schaal did you pack unsweetened lemonade? Kristen Schall's like, no, and then Wolfer's like, I thought so. And then not even Brent just closes it, just like, maybe we could put a label on this next time. I thought that was a pretty funny quick line. But going back to the dark, like how this season has been pretty dark for the most part. Just Will Forte's like, well, guys, I think the bowl's going nowhere, so how about we go take some time to go look for Phil instead? And then they're just like, no, who cares about Phil? I'm just like, God, these are really selfish human beings, these characters at the moment. So all that happened. So then when they got back to the house, just Jerry Jones and Todd just explode at each other with just Todd saying like, you're not making me happy, like you're not making me happy, like I'm not making you happy, like why are we still together? And Jerry Jones like, well, I guess we should break up then. So then Todd breaks up, but then he goes to Gail, and those two start kissing. So guess Todd's not alone anymore. So there's that, and so basically then you just see all the characters just sitting around the table eating dinner with each other, all looking pretty like unhappy, just eating dinner, like not saying anything. And then Will Forte comes in just with a huge thing of rocks and just like gives each person a rock, and just like, look, we all have flaws. I mean, and he just keeps pointing at everyone, just like alcoholic, bacon hoarder, teen pregnancy. I loved Erica just saying, like, Erica's saying, I'm 23. Like, I don't get into it, but like, I don't care. And I thought the funniest person gave the funniest reaction though is just when Will Forte just Jerry Jones like, you tried to make a married man sleep with you when you first met him. Just like, oh, Jerry Jones like, what? No, I didn't. Just like, Jerry Jones, you said in front of me that you were horny when you first met me. I thought that was a really funny, darkly hilarious line. Just Jerry Jones looking so unhappy. I thought it was really funny. And so then basically, and then this just led to a really dark moment where just all the characters just explode at each other. Just all of them are just yelling at each other about how much, like, pretty much all the issues they have with one another. Like, even it was got really effective, like, in particular though, like, even when Kristen Schaal started yelling at Erica, I was like, wow, this is actually really dark, just when you realize, like, just like basically, like, these people are almost together just out of convenience more than anything, just for the fact, like, just for the fact they don't want to be alone, but like, even if they don't like these people. So I thought So and then Will Forte just shows what he wants to do. Like after the game painted out, just starts throwing throws a rock through a glass door, and they're like, idiot, and they just all a bit walk away from him. And I'm just like, and so Will Forte was just trying to get the pain, let the people get their pain out, but they're all like, no, you're an idiot, Will Forte. So then this cut to the next morning. You just saw everyone sitting around, sitting around the couch, like the living room, and then just the bull walks by. The bull walks by, and then it's funny. Just like basically none of them even say anything. They just all look at each other. They all give really funny facial reactions. All the actors, and then they all just pull out their trinkets. All just shoot the bull, and just like, wow. So the bull came here, and then you see, no, it's Phil. Other Phil has come, and then has come back, and he's found the bull for them. So I still don't understand why this guy did not get a starring role, because Boris Kajo, I think his name is, because he's basically been in the entire, as much as like any of the other characters did. Maybe it's because they've just been trying to keep people guessing, like, on whether this guy's staying or not, because it's always vague. Seems vague if he wants to say what these people are not. And then this led to a funny line. I'll get to it in one moment, because I want to talk about another quick plot line before I get into, like, the ending of this episode. For the first time since the premiere, we cut back to Jason Sudeikis in space, and this led to a really dark scene where he basically, and this is, like, right after, like, other Phil, like, drives off with his truck. You see him trying to get a signal out, trying a different means, and he seems to be getting someone's voice, and you just see Jason Sudeikis looking so excited, and I was just wondering from us, like, is that Phil? And then, like, no, it turns out it just turns out it was his own recording he's been broadcasting that he just picked up. So, and it was really hard. It was pretty sad just seeing Jason Sudeikis just start, like, breaking his, like, transmitting equipment, just, like, in a pure misery and tears. Like, that was, like I said, this season has been pretty dark for the most part, even though there has been a lot of funny lines. And yeah, so, but going back to the gang at Malibu, not Jason Sudeikis in space. So after they all shoot the bull with their tranquilizer darts, they're just my line, they're like, do we shoot it with too many tranquilizer darts? And like, well, first, like, nah, I'm sure it's fine. Then this led to a really funny cut. You just cut to the entire gang around the dinner table with just giant stacks of beef, like cooked beef, having like their first beef dinner in God knows how long, and there was a very sweet moment, like, even though they're not really speaking to each other, like, Phil just comes by, and she's like, well, I guess I'll put myself back in the stocks now, and then they're like, no, come on, Phil, come eat with us. And then even though they say nothing, they just all happily smile at each other. And then this led to a really nice, but also kind of dark moment. Just to the sun, it's such a perfect day. You just saw all the entire people, everyone around the table, just happily eating their beef with each other. And then you saw Jason Sudeikis in space happily getting high, and it was effectively, it was both like heartwarming, like funny and heartwarming and dark at the same time, mostly because, like, these characters are saying, like, tomorrow we're gonna have to deal with the fact that we still live in this world, but it was just nice seeing them taking a moment out of that and just enjoying life for a moment, just enjoying themselves and just ignoring the fact that they're all in such a terrible world at the moment. So I thought that was a really nice scene, and I'm gonna be really surprised how much longer can Jason Sudeikis stay in space at this point, so who knows, but yeah, so I did like that, though, just seeing, like, basically, like, maybe Jason Sudeikis kind of admitting he's probably gonna have to, like, try and, like, use the pod to get back down to Earth, like, at the moment, let's just ignore life at the moment and just be happy that I'm alive. So, and the same for the entire game, like, they still have their issues with each other, but they're still really they're just, at the moment, eating their first meal of meat in God knows how long, just happily smiling, just enjoying the fact that they have this, and then actually enjoying the fact that they are with other people. So, another great episode of Last Man on Earth. I'm really curious where things are going to go with Jerry Jones starting next episode, since she broke up with Todd. Wonder where that goes. But yeah, another great episode. YouTube, as always, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and no new episode of Last Man on Earth next week, so see you in 2 weeks. Okay, bye.